This is where love gets honest. We've been searching through the noise, trying to hear our hearts speak clear. Yeah, dating with intention now, letting go of fear. Learn to love me first, yeah. Healing all my scars. Now I'm showing up whole, knowing who you are. No more settling for less. I choose truth, I choose me. If it's real, let it grow. If it's fake, let it be. Affirm the real. Love that heals. Love you can feel. We speak life. Yeah, we reveal. Hearts align. This love is real. Affirm the real. Love starts here.
Yeah.
Love starts here. I love that song.
Love our intro.
I
So
love
much,
it
darling,
so much.
darlings.
Do you
Good
not
evening, everyone, and happy
love?
Tuesday. We are at a Tuesday again. We missed y'all
Yay. Happy
because we
Tuesday.
took our last Tuesday off.
Took a break. Took a
We
what?
took a
Took a break.
break because it was after my birthday and it was a lot going on. But we're here. What up, y'all? This is my first live since I turned 50. What up? Hey. What up, everybody? I am Kia McLean, the poet, and guess who that beauty is right there?
Shamika, the dart therapist. Hi, guys.
Like when you do that right there. So you guys have had an opportunity to see what we will be discussing this evening, and the topic is covering the lie. Dun dun dun.
Cover it up.
So interesting topic, and it's a bunch of layers to this. And Shamika and I started talking about it, and we kind of like was finding out there's a lot to unpack in this conversation. And this is one of those conversations where we need some audience engagement. So you'll hear me say that throughout the conversation because it's one of those conversations where there's so many different things that could happen in this conversation. So without further ado, let's talk about this thing. Hell, what you got in that cup?
Some chai, mushroom, cacao, something. Coffee. Cacao, but it's mushroom coffee.
Yeah, Marcus drinks mushroom coffee. I knew about the mushroom coffee.
That's a new one I'm drinking in there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm drinking something delicious. Hibiscus. Okay.
Hibiscus.
I like delicious tea.
I got you know what? I need more hibiscus tea, and I have rose petals that the ones that are ingestible, and I make a tea out of the rose petals. I would love the hibiscus tea with the rose petals and clove.
That would be good. That would be good.
I need some more hibiscus.
I love a good tea. I love a good tea, my darlings. I love a good tea. So let's talk about covering the lie. Now, we're going to go a little in depth about this conversation. Sometimes we think of betrayal coming from one person when it comes to like relationship stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But in this particular conversation, we're going to talk about betrayal that takes group effort. So, so sometimes people get together and they help you lie, or they back your lie up.
Teamwork make the dream work.
Yes, or they hold the lie for you, right?
Right.
And like Shamika just said, teamwork make the dream work. So if that's your goal, that's your goal, right?
Make the lie true.
But I think that there are some questions to unpack here, because I even thought about when this happened to me. And so first question is, why do people agree to cover for cheaters? Why do people say things like, well, I'm not going to tell, I know both of you all, or I have a rapport with both of you all, but I'm going to keep it from the other person that I have a relationship with or a connection with or a bond with. Or it could just be an acquaintance, right? It doesn't even have to be a close connection. It could even be an acquaintance. How would you handle someone saying, hey, I'm going to cheat on my spouse, or I'm going to cheat on my significant other, and I need you to keep it quiet. I need you to keep it hush. Just a question to think about. And
I'm gonna let them know I'm with you.
as we continue the conversation, then we're gonna get some answers. I'm gonna circle back to this question. Is it because you fear losing that friendship or that relationship or that connection? And that's why you've decided that you're gonna cover for that person? Or is it that's just what you want to do? It might not be fear connected to it all. Is it a male loyalty culture? So, like,
Mm.
a lot of times men will just do that automatically. It's not about anything else but bro code, right? So,
You know what?
for the men, do you do it out of loyalty or out of the culture?
You know what? Now that you said that, I wonder how many women tell their homegirls that they're going to cheat. Most women won't say anything about them cheating, about going to cheat. Most
Mhm.
women keep that secret. That's how come men don't always know that women be cheating, because they don't share with everybody.
Mhm.
That's not because as a woman we've been taught to have a certain right behavior, right? And so
Yeah.
we're judged for cheating or having being promiscuous, right?
Yeah.
And so most of the time women won't tell nobody that that's why. Do you wait, what video? It's a video on Instagram, and the guy he gets a call from, he's in the bed, and he gets a call from his woman like, oh, I'm out with Keisha, so I'll be a little late, right? He was like, oh, you out with Keisha? And he was like, she was like, yeah. He said, oh, okay. So he hangs up the phone, and she was like, he believed me. And then on his end, he turns around to Keisha. She said, she out with you. He was in the bed with Keisha.
Mhm. Mhm.
So she didn't tell Keisha. She didn't tell Keisha she was
Exactly. 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 That's how it goes down, right?
She said she out with you, and he in the bed with her.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, and we're going to talk about that. We just asking the questions right now, but that's a good point that is going to come up later. Is it because you want to avoid conflict? Because if someone asks you to lie for them, you don't want to say, no, I don't, that's not my character. That's not the way that I move. I
Yeah.
don't want to lie. Is it because you want to avoid the conflict and the back and forth with the person, that you're not sharing that they're cheating? And lastly, or is it a lack of moral courage? Now, this is where we're talking about morality in terms of right and wrong, good or bad, and that can be inferred or understood differently
Mm-hmm.
for different people. So I'm not going to go deep into that one because we'll sit there for too long.
Yeah.
So a lot of times though, I don't think that we consider that cheating has always required us to involve at least somebody else in it,
Mm.
especially the cheating that between spouses. And the reason why you involve other people in it is because in order for you to tell the story of what you're doing or where you are, oftentimes your spouse has an expectation for you to come home at a certain time. Your spouse has a certain expectation for you to check in at certain times. And
Mm.
so when you're not doing that, you may have to involve another person or other people, right? So you might have to say, hey, I'm not going home in my regular time. So can you like cover for me? Can you tell such and such that we're together? Like the video you saw, right? And
Mhm.
it's like, can you cover for me? Can you tell somebody, that I'm doing this or that, and that's why I'm not there? Um, can we send fake tickets to say we're going to this show? Whatever it is,
Mhm.
sometimes other people have to get involved in your lie. And then those cover stories began to especially when they're not completely well thought out,
Right.
your cover up story can begin to crumble very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I came up with this lie, and then now you don't even remember the lie,
Girl.
right?
Girl.
So, and and that's the thing. You forgot the lie you told, and now you're like, oh shit, what lie
What
did
did
I?
I say again?
And then they'll ask you, right? They'll do a follow up. So where was you at again? And who all was there? Right? So they'll
Mm-hmm.
do that kind of stuff. Sometimes we think silence would stop all of that, right? Like, well, if I just be quiet, you know, um, and that's on both sides, the cheater and the people who know. Like the people who know are just like, I'm just gonna be silent. I don't know nothing. I ain't got to be involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing for me to do here,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then you have to think about the cooperation that comes into place with that. People are cooperating with
Right.
somebody else's decision that could impact or hurt someone else.
Right.
And so, what does that look like for you? Now, this
Mm.
conversation is not to tell people what to do or how to do it. It's just a conversation that,
Conversation.
we thought we'd have regarding this particular topic.
Right.
So, what up, Angie? What's going
I
on,
tell you
girl?
what's on the side.
What's going on, girl? Because that's on you, because she's on the YouTube side.
Yeah, I can't see it, but can you put it on the side though?
Can you put on the side, baby?
Oh, it comes in
So,
like that now.
they constantly changing stuff.
Okay. I
So, do you think that helping someone cheat is makes you a betrayer as well? Like, does that mean that you are a person that um is not to be trusted or is disloyal to because of that?
mm-hmm.
Do you think that silence is participation?
Mm.
Are you willfully participating by remaining silent? And then, should loyalty ever override morality? So I'm gonna go back to the top, and I'll ask you, cousin. And these are not questions. If you or anybody out there that wants to engage in this conversation, if you don't want to answer the question, don't answer it. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine. If it, some of these answers may put you in a position to where people will be like, oh, you would do this or that. So you don't have to answer these questions at all. But you started to answer this question when I started about why do people agree to cover for cheaters? Cousin,
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Why do people agree to cover for cheaters? What was I saying? Girl, why start? My mind was somewhere else as you was talking. I was like, "Is my look?" I was like, "Is my camera blurry? Like, I put a fingerprint on there. Is it? Is it?
No, it's not blurry.
Okay.
Stay focused, cousin.
Stay focused. Why would people cover? So, why would people cover for a cheater? It could be the things that you mentioned, right? It could be the possibility of I don't know how to say, like, no, that's not okay. I'm just not gonna say nothing. Or you put me in an uncomfortable situation and I never considered, like, oh, what would I do? But again, I just believe that culturally, I feel like men will be the ones to support their boys. And now I'm not saying that all women don't support, like, don't have that one person that they, that supports them in their cheating. But I think most of the times it's something that men are typically, that's the boys club, right? Bros before hoes, you know what I'm saying? Bros before hoes. They got a whole saying and everything. So I think that's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that because of the point that you made earlier about the fact that women don't share the fact that they're cheating, but if they did, I wonder what those numbers would be in terms of
Right,
people,
compared.
of the women holding that secret for the men.
Right.
because what you said is right. That bro code is real.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of men are like, I'm not telling nothing. Like, that's my boy. I'm gonna lie for him to the end. And
Mm-hmm.
even people, I know you've seen those pranks where people are on TikTok or Instagram and they're sitting with their partner and they're prank calling a friend or a parent or something, and they like, oh, such and such told me they was over there with you. Are they over there? And you get to see if the person is going to tell the
Have
truth.
not seen that.
So that
Have
is
not
something
seen
that I've
that.
seen a lot of. That's
That's
been the
funny.
prank that I've seen a lot of, where people
Right.
are like, oh my goodness, like, you would lie like that? You know, they find out in the
Don't
conversation,
ask
like,
me.
dang, you gonna tell?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me.
So it's interesting how that plays out, because even in the scenarios that I saw, most of the men did try to lie and cover.
Mm.
One time this guy called his grandfather, and his grandfather was like, don't get me involved in your shit. Like, he's like, I'm not getting involved in that. That's
Right.
between you and her. I
Right.
ain't getting involved. So he
Right.
didn't want to be involved at all, right?
Uh-huh.
But could that be because he's the grandfather, he's older, he's lived that, he's had that experience, or is it just because that's just who he is? We don't know that.
Right.
But I think ultimately, I see Marcus's comment here. Cheating has gotten normalized a lot of times for men. It is. And I think that's why it's a significant difference in women sharing versus men sharing,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a known thing. Men get excused for this all the time.
Right. Don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just a man. And
It's always an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Even the women will excuse the men.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have both the men and the women excusing it,
Right.
even the partner will excuse it.
Yeah.
So you got on both sides people excusing your behavior. Why
Right.
would you stop? Why
Right.
would you do something differently?
Right.
Right? They'll wreak all they will create all this havoc and all this drama in their lives, and even in the people's lives that they included in this.
Right.
Now, I watch a lot of crime investigative shows, and I've seen where people have gotten upset with the person who may have covered for them or hid them or let them come to their house and do the cheating or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then you got the person that goes crazy and go over there and kill everybody.
Right.
So that's a whole nother layer
Right.
to add to that
Take everybody out. Yep.
Yeah. Now, the next point is, okay, here's a scenario I want to give you, and you tell me what your thoughts would be about this scenario. And any other woman that wants to comment about how they would perceive this or feel about this. You're with your, it could be your spouse or your significant other. It's your partner.
Mm-hmm.
And they are cheating on you.
Mm-hmm.
And your friend group knows, your family knows, and all the people that are around you, they know that your partner's cheating on you, but you don't know. You don't have a clue until you come across something that reveals that this person is not only cheating, but that the people that you've been hanging out around and that you call family or friends, they also knew as well.
Mm-hmm.
What are your feelings about that? What are your thoughts about that?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to share what I shared earlier today?
Share whatever you want.
So now, okay, when it comes to this, okay, can I explain my position on even cheating first, or did you just want me to?
Nope, just answer that part of the question.
Okay, so that part of the question. Okay, so I would be upset that again that everybody else, like, it's like a secret from me, so that would irritate me. That would irritate me that it's a secret, right? And everybody, and I'm looking foolish, right? I'm looking dumb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody go no, and then I'm looking stupid. Okay, all right, bet, right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be upset.
So you would be upset.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, because we're talking about the family knowing that you're getting cheated on, the friends knowing you're getting cheated on,
mm-hmm.
the other woman even know that you exist and you getting cheated on.
Now that's okay. So here's
So,
the thing. Now that's not okay either.
but what I'm saying, when I say everybody knows except you, I mean everybody, down to the woman, to the friends, to the family.
She shouldn't even know
Everybody
me.
knows everybody. Well, she don't know you, but she know you exist.
Oh, okay.
So
Gotcha.
that's so what happens when your significant other or your spouse is cheating on you and everybody around you knows except you. And then you find out in some other way. And when you discover that your spouse or significant other is cheating on you, you see maybe text threads. You see arrangements being made because people are everybody's participating in
Participating
you
in it.
being
Like,
cheated on.
yeah.
You're
I think I'm
saying
with, I think I'm with Bree.
so, yeah. So Angie says some people will say, I didn't want to get in the middle of it, or they thought it was a phase. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bree said, I would have to cut everybody off, not hearing anybody out.
Yeah.
Okay. So it
Because they
for
in
me personally, I've gone through this. I've
Mm-hmm.
gone through this personally.
Mm-hmm.
That shit hurts because you look like a damn fool.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody around you is acting as if they don't know, but they know everything, right? They're secretly going over and even hanging out with the person that person is cheating with, or they have a relationship and a connection with that other person. And even if they don't, again,
Wow.
it's the fact that it's a deep rooted betrayal because you
Yeah.
have the entire friend group and some family members and the woman or the man that person is cheating with knows.
Yeah.
So again, you have looked like a fool for 6 months, 3 months, a month, however long it's been that person's been cheating. So we got some comments about how people would feel about that. I think it's humiliating.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's completely humiliating and it's disrespectful. Especially when there are people that you're calling your friends. Yeah, you guys may mutually know these people, but if your friend is like, well, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't know how you was going to respond, or I didn't want to tell you because that's my friend too. And so that's when that can get very hairy. That can get very hairy. And like I said, I've been through this situation before. That shit hurts.
Mm-hmm.
When you find out that the people around you knew that you were getting cheated on and didn't say anything, that's a betrayal. That feels like betrayal. Not
And
only
nobody,
partner.
and nobody, so okay, like, so, because I feel like, did anybody say that's not cool? You need to stop that shit? Or they was like, oh,
No,
okay.
no.
So they were
Nobody
just
said
all in cahoots.
nobody said this way.
Gotcha.
This ain't cool. I don't agree.
Gotcha.
They just kind of was like participants basically
Gotcha.
in it.
Yeah.
That damages your trust
Right.
with people, not just
Yeah.
your partner. It
No, with
damages
everybody.
your trust with people
Yeah.
overall, right?
Right.
And so sometimes, and I'm going to be honest, sometimes the cheating hurts less. And in that scenario, I wasn't necessarily hurt by the cheat. I'm gonna be honest.
Right.
Because by that time I had cheated myself.
Right.
So I wasn't necessarily hurt by the cheating. I was hurt by the group dynamic of what happened.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, sorry. So that's like, I think that's the place I'm coming from in this particular conversation. It's when everybody knows but you, and you look like a fool.
Yeah.
Now, remember we brought up earlier that men tend to have the men protect them and the women protect them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have both men and women protecting you, that creates more dysfunctional men.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that?
I definitely would. Because
So
it encourages. Mm-hmm,
it encourages that behavior,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
So all you have to do, they say a lot of times, if you don't say anything when somebody does something once, they're gonna keep doing it, right? Because they're like,
mm-hmm,
boy, that's how criminals, that's why criminals don't stop at one act.
mm-hmm,
They keep going because they are feeling a thrill, like
mm-hmm.
get caught. So I'm
Right,
gonna do it again.
right.
And cheaters kind of move in that same type of energy
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, oh, I didn't get caught. Babe, can you put that comment up for me? I didn't get caught. So Bree said I had two friendships. One of the girls opened up to me about sleeping with the other girl's boyfriend. I sat on the information for a couple of days, but it was weighing on me. So I told her it didn't feel right. And I don't know why she expected me to keep that.
Yeah.
I more so was struggling with how to tell her. And that's another layer. You dump your shit on other people. And is that fair?
Hmm.
That's another layer, Bree, that I didn't even have in my notes. You dump your stuff onto other people like, oh, my shit is their shit. No, is that fair to involve somebody else in your deception
Mm.
and put them in a place where they're uncomfortable?
Right, right,
And now they have to tell somebody that they care about something that's going to be extremely hurtful to them.
right.
So,
And then you got to think. And then here's the thing, because see, now you just told me that information, and so now I'm like, now not only am I considering, because now I'm looking at you upside your head.
mhm,
Now I'm considering who you are as a friend, right? Who
mhm,
you are as a person and your character. And then now I know that this is over. Like, dang, so now I gotta mourn this situation because I'm not keeping you as a friend.
mhm,
Then now I'm struggling with how I'm gonna tell this my other friend that you're doing this,
yeah,
because now it's gonna be a whole big can of worms, because I don't know how she gonna respond. Right. So now I'm like, and that girl had a girlfriend. Dang. So then
see,
brought in, it was a whole,
see,
yeah,
see,
and that's not okay.
it's not
That's
now that part for me
that's too
is
much.
just messy. You're
Yeah, you
right,
didn't brought
cousin.
me into all this stuff.
That's
I
just
wasn't. I was
messy.
minding my own business.
You put me in the trenches of your
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
I don't need to be involved in the trenches of your shit,
Right.
right? And people don't understand when you put that on somebody else, like, oh, I cheated on my spouse, or I did this, or I did that. It also tells me something about you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're a cheater and you're a liar and you're this, okay, what is our connection and our relationship gonna, what's the potential of our connection? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody that cheats is a bad friend. That's not
Right.
what I'm
I
saying.
know. Right. 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 Right.
That
Right.
but what I am saying is it does come into play where you are questioning people's character who not only cheated, but then decided to involve everybody else in their shit
Hmm.
because that's drama, right? That's a
Yeah.
lot of drama.
Hmm. So okay, because now I'm thinking, right? Okay, so those are my female friends, right?
Hmm.
So my female friends, but what about my homeboys? Like, oh, my homeboys telling me that they cheating on this chick. Is that different?
It is. So, because remember earlier I said, I used to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've always had more male friends than female friends.
Mm-hmm.
So when my male friends would do stuff back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
I was like one of the homies. I'm like, oh, I ain't finna tell nothing on you. I got you, my boy. I ain't finna tell nothing on you. I'm gonna hold you down. But that's internalized misogyny
Mm-hmm.
that you don't even realize that
Mm-hmm.
you're moving in. You're moving in internalized misogyny by holding that stuff and
Mm-hmm.
keeping it a secret and
Mm-hmm.
protecting a man
Right.
from doing that. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, I feel like the problem now, she could possibly out two friends. Yes. And so now
Yeah.
again, you've changed the whole dynamics of this friend group or this family or whatever. The whole dynamics change
Right.
based on some bad decisions.
Right.
And it does create a lot of messiness.
Yeah.
It creates trauma for that person who's been betrayed. That's called trauma,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's something that sends somebody to see a person like you, a therapist.
But even Bree is traumatized by it.
Yes.
It's I forgot what it's called. It's like where you're traumatized by watching and observing another trauma. And now you place me in the middle of this situation. Now I'm
Hmm.
traumatized. You know,
Yep.
you place me in a like, you know.
It's like I'm blowing the weed smoke in your face, and now you got high too.
Contact, right? You got
You
contact.
got contact.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. You're putting somebody in a situation to where they have to make a hard decision that
Yeah,
they shouldn't have to be making. They shouldn't be put in that position.
yeah.
I think sometimes too, women will hold those men's secrets for validation and acceptance
Mm,
because they want to be validated by the man or they want to be accepted by the man.
yeah.
They want to be seen as I'm holding my partner down, right?
Mm.
I'm holding this man down. I can't truly articulate to you why I did that in the past outside of I was a girl boy. I mean,
It's a girl, boy.
I can't articulate it honestly, but I look back on that, and sometimes when things happen to you and you get to experience that, you view things a little bit differently, right?
Hmm.
And so I had to take a look at some of the things that I held and didn't tell people.
Right.
Um, or I didn't say to the friend, like, I'm not going to support you cheating. You know, I don't think that's right. I don't want to be involved in it, whatever. There's a lot of things I just didn't say in
Yeah.
those scenarios. And one of the reasons it said was you just don't want to get involved.
Hmm.
You don't want to get involved. And with Bree's scenario, that's a very complicated situation.
Yeah.
And now you've exposed me to your trauma. I'm
Yeah.
traumatized.
Right.
And that's not fair to me.
Yeah.
Um, Another reason is you don't want your friend group to be broke up.
Yeah.
So there's some care and concern and some selfishness.
Now it's about to be changed.
And you're like, I'm not gonna tell because if I tell, our friend group is gonna be messed up. We're not gonna be hanging out anymore. We're not gonna do this or do that anymore if I tell. So I'm just gonna hold it and hopefully they stop cheating. Or
Yeah.
hopefully, they do something different. So, but I do want to ask this question. This question is to the men and the women. Why are some women harder on women than the men creating the damage?
Mm. But I feel like that's what Marcus mentioned earlier.
But I mean, why specifically how many times have you heard the story? The woman is going after
The girl for
the
the
woman,
other woman.
right? And excusing the man. Why? Let's go back to it.
Hmm.
Misogyny.
Hmm.
We have been conditioned.
Hmm.
Conditioned. And
Yeah.
remember what I told you before about that pride shit? That men are the prize. So it's okay if they cheat. It's okay if they lie. It's okay if they play games. It's okay if they full of shit. It's okay if they have multiple women. It's okay if they don't do this right. It's okay if they don't do that right. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
We've been taught that men are the prize. Girls grow up and get groomed to be married.
Mm-hmm.
Men grow up and are groomed to sleep with however many women they want to sleep with.
Yeah.
They're not taught about, well, let me prepare. They're not teaching the son, well, you need to prepare to be a husband.
Marriage, be a
You
husband.
need to prepare to do this. And
Mm-hmm.
no, little girls are given dolls with little babies
Mm-hmm.
and told, hey, this is how you would take care of your baby. Boys,
Mm-hmm.
that trucks, soldiers, and where a girl at in there?
Hmm.
Where's a wife in there?
Right. Right. She
Yeah,
said,
men
men
be men.
or boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's always been excuses made.
Right.
Think about mothers who have sons,
Mm-hmm.
who baby them,
Mm-hmm.
who coddle them, who make excuses for their behavior. this is something that has been taught to us. And so the men get away with a lot of stuff while women are attacked and told, you shouldn't dress like that. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't be like this. You shouldn't talk like that. We are policed in every damn thing while men are told, it's fine. Go do whatever you want to do. Have a great time.
Yep.
Mistreat people, cheat on people, impregnate 20 women, have 20 kids by 20 women, do all of those things. It's acceptable. And then if a woman goes out and has multiple baby daddies, she a hoe. She thirsty. But the men, that's never the case for men. They make excuses for their dysfunction over and over and over again. So when you think about that, that's what we're looking at. We are looking at the fact that this has been passed down and it's become a cultural thing that's accepted. So that's why a man will say, I don't know what you expect from me. Of course men cheat. We have stronger desires than women. Now let's be clear. Women who are over 40 and up have a higher sex drive than men. Right? Men typically slow down after that age. They hot and horny.
Right.
In their teens up into their 30s.
Right.
But then that libido changes from the women being more active.
Yeah.
And the men being less active. But again, an older woman will go out and get a younger man, and what will they call her? She a thirsty ass cougar. Out here with this little young boy. But they'll go out here and get an 18-year-old girl and marry her and do all, and ain't no problem. We watched R. Kelly. We watched all these other men with little girls. And it was accepted by the whole entire community.
Yeah.
The whole entire community accepted that.
Yeah.
So cheating is not it's not something that is looked upon as a negative thing when men do it. That's why, to your point, what you said earlier about women don't tell other women that. Why? Because women gonna be the harshest. Bitch, you got a man. Why would you cheat? Even if he a piece of a man. Well, you got a piece of a man. You better hold on to that man. What happened in Waiting to Exhale? She encouraged her daughter to be with a married man.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
There's plenty of women that do that.
Yeah, true.
In real life, not on no movie. In real life.
In real life.
And Bree said, boys in general not being taught emotional maturity like girls when they're young. Absolutely.
Like I remember that saying, if a boy hit you, that means he like you. If he hit you, that means he like you.
Excuses. We can go down the list. It's been a ton of excuses given to men. So of course, quite naturally, they would cheat, and they know they have a community of people that will support their cheating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this has been something that has been ingrained. And so, yeah, it's nothing for people to be like, well, it's not a big deal. People cheat. People do this. Why are you upset? I mean, that's just what happens. So when you look at scenarios, and like even in my situation when it happened to me, and I asked several of the people, so you knew this, and you called me this name, your friend, your this, your that. How could you look at me knowing the deceit and the betrayal that was happening to me? How? Because I'm questioning your integrity. I'm questioning how you could say you love me,
right?
But that's what you would do,
right?
That really, when it comes down to cheating, so I gave a specific scenario in this situation. So we're talking about a specific scenario. We're talking about somebody that's partnered or married, and the friends and the family and the other woman or the other man knew and nobody said anything. That's
Right.
a specific cheating scenario
Mm.
that we're talking about in this conversation. But okay, before I go there, let me read Angie's comment. Men that's older be trying to prove something to themselves or their friends. They still got it or can pull them. Yep.
Because
I've heard this.
yeah, no, yeah.
I've heard it.
Yeah.
I've heard men tell me, watch this. I've been with a man who was my partner who was like, watch this. Knowing he got a wife, knowing he got a woman, he watch what I'm finna do. I still got it. It's a game. And I remember saying, some men go around and just wreak havoc. They just go around and wreak havoc. They are like Tasmanian devils. They just going around destroying people, destroying homes, destroying relationships. Understand something. When you have everybody agree to your cheating, you're destroying friendships. You're destroying relationships. You're destroying all of these dynamics. And I'm not saying people are not accountable for their own behavior in those scenarios. Like, yeah, they can say no. Yeah, they can, come and tell the person.
Right.
But again, you're putting them in a very complicated position.
Right.
Because that feels like choosing. I got to choose you or I got to choose them. And they shouldn't be in that position.
But the thing is that most of the time they're not thinking about anybody else, though. Usually when you're cheating, is you're not thinking about how it'll affect anybody else. You're only thinking about yourself getting pleased or getting that need met, whatever that need is.
So what is cheating?
Right. A selfish act.
It's a selfish act, right?
Yeah. I want to get my need met, so I'm not going to consider anybody else.
So if we just talk specifically about cheating being a selfish act, right? So now I'm being selfish and
self-centered, right? Centered about self.
So what does that tell you about me as a person?
So, as I'm having this conversation, I'm thinking about when I was in that space. And I don't think I was a good.
But me too.
Yeah, I don't think I was at the
That's
time.
why I told you. What did we say earlier? Like, we used to participate in this, right? And the purpose of the conversation too, like, I'm constantly learning. And this conversation is good because this is a real time, us talking this out and reflecting. Y'all getting to see us in real time, have this conversation and reflect in real time together. Because we talked about it a little earlier, but not to this degree.
Right. Then that would mean, so here's the thing too, then that would mean if I can be a reformed cheater, right? That means other people can too. Right. So then if somebody says, well, I had a history, if they're able to acknowledge their part or their unhealthy behaviors, if they're able to acknowledge that. But if they're in a state of blaming, now I'm like, did you learn, or are you blaming somebody else for your behaviors? Because now you're not taking accountability for you.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask this question. This question is posed to the audience and to you, cousin. So you have a friend, and every time you look around, they cheat, right? And they're sharing it with you. They're not keeping it to themselves. They're sharing it, and they're like, "Oh, girl, I cheated again. I met another man at the club, and I went home with him." Okay, then the next week she says again, "Oh, girl, I met another guy and I cheated again." Okay. By the time she's done, she's told you about 6 men that she's cheated with. As a friend, as a person that, you calling her your friend, as a friend, what is going to start to happen in terms of how you feel about her, not from a judgment position. This is not about judging her actions. We're not judging people. But what does that make you consider if you're dealing with a person that's consistently cheating on their partner?
Not from a place of judgment, but seeing her character. Bree says 6. I know that's a lot.
I went extreme, Bree. I had to go extreme with it. I had to go extreme with it, Bree.
I guess first of all, okay, because I am in a space right now of learning not to judge people's choices, right?
Mhm.
I will, but she will stop telling me, because I'll start off with asking questions like, what's going on there? Because the way I will present, or the way she won't want to tell me it ananymore. I won't be the friend that she'll come to anymore. I wouldn't be the friend. Because I would start asking questions to make her think about what's going on. Because I'm gonna be like, baby, maybe you need, because I've been there, so I'm gonna be like, that sounds familiar, because that's how the stuff I used to do when I was, dealing with my situation. So I don't think she would. So I don't think I would. And if she didn't see the, like, eventually she wouldn't be somebody. I don't, because I'm trying not to judge, right?
But you was about to say something. You said eventually she wouldn't be somebody.
She wouldn't be my friend.
Okay.
Eventually she wouldn't be my friend, because she wouldn't want to talk. First of all, she wouldn't want to talk to me.
But do you think that's you judging her? Do you think that that's you judging her, though? Or is that you paying attention to patterns and recognizing what that could be?
Right.
And saying, well, if that person, they say they love this person. They say they married to this person, or they say they want to marry this person. If they're cheating on this person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, what does that say about my connection with this person?
See, I still wouldn't. It still would be okay, because so I'm very, she probably wouldn't even be a friend to begin with. She'd probably be somebody I knew. Actually, she probably wouldn't be my friend, because I literally have, 3 close people in my life, that I can open up to, or talk to, or share things about. And so if that's the constant conversations about you met a whole new dude, like, that wouldn't be somebody I would just keep on.
And it's not from a place of judgment, though.
It's not from a place of judgment. It just seems like it seems like, again, it's some things you're going through. And so it seems like there's some other things you need to work on.
Yeah. So I'm going to answer at the end. I want to address the comments. We got a few comments in here. So Marcus said, not judging is the hard part. Yeah, it can be. Markeisha said, I have a friend that's cheated twice, and our relationship changed a bit because she didn't like when I told her that no good would come from bringing someone else pain. See, right. and that's a thing right there. Most people are not going to say that. A lot of people will just be like, well, that's just who they are, and accept them for who they are, and it's okay. And we become participants. You know what I'm saying? Sideline participants. I wasn't judgmental, but eventually she started telling her single friends instead of me, because they were more inclined to agree with her actions. See, Markeisha is right there on what I got a one word answer on this. That's it. I got one word, and Markeisha is in that direction. What's the next comment? Did we miss any other comments? I think Angie says something. Did Angie say something? Those that do that, they don't care. It's only about themselves. Selfish, low in integrity, and self-control. Yes. Here's my one word answer to that. I'm not judging. I'm not looking at you and saying, because again, I've been there. I've been there. I've been a cheater, and I've been cheated on. I've been on both sides of this. My answer to that is, I'm not judging you. I'm looking at alignment. That's all I care about. Are we aligned as friends, as people? So we may not be aligned, because when we go hang out, you're interested in cheating, and finding somebody to cheat with. I'm
Right.
not aligned
That's
with
your
that because
focus.
that's
Yeah.
not what I'm doing. It's not from a place of judgment. It's not
Mm-mm.
from a place of I'm better than you or
Mhm.
I'm this or that. It's alignment. That's it for me.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to for me.
And I remember how I was. I remember that was my focus, right? My focus was like, oh, I'm going to get this next person. And
Hmm.
so my focus wasn't like, so when I was out and about, it was this predatory type of, so I'm like, that wouldn't be somebody I'm going to the club with.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be somebody because and then here's the thing too. And then so I've become, now that I'm older, I've become very protective of people. I like, so if I'm going out with a bunch of female friends, I tend to want to be very aware, because especially if they're drinking more than, like, I'll have one glass, but if they're drinking, like, I'm very aware. So I cannot hang out with somebody that I feel like I gotta be very aware and overly, like, I get this overly protective thing, like, okay,
Hmm.
yeah. And so I don't want to do that to myself,
Hmm.
right? But Bria said, it depends. If they aren't ready to grow from that mindset, I would have to create distance. If we're close, I'd be clear that I'm not lying to cover them.
Hmm. So, I mean, she has her standard, right? And I
Mhm.
think it's good to have a standard.
Mhm.
It's when you don't have a standard and you're walking into things blindly,
Mhm.
that's why alignment is important to me, because I
Mhm.
know where I am energetically. I know where I am in my walk, in my journey. So I know when I'm aligned with people and when I'm not. And
Mhm.
it's a very quick thing for me. I
Yeah.
don't need to be a detective and figure out this or that anymore. I've done that shit.
Yeah.
No, I can immediately tell I'm aligned with you or I'm not aligned with you.
Mhm.
There, I'm not doing a deep dive into it
At all.
because of where I am in my path right now.
Right.
Now, when you were talking, I wrote this down. This is a thought. What about the friends who you hang around with that's always cheating? And you might be a cheater too, right? You might
Mhm.
be in them streets. You might be doing what you do.
Mhm.
You might be single and it don't really matter to you because you're not in a relationship. So you're not looking at her behavior as affecting you
Mhm.
because you're single or you're just dating whoever you want to date. What happens when you get in a serious relationship?
Mm. That
Ladies,
friend might damage.
ladies, what
Oh.
happens when you get in a serious relationship with somebody
Mm.
and you've been hanging out with the woman that's always cheating? Men, what do you do when you saw that man try to go holler at his partner woman and he cheat with everybody? What do you do?
Mm.
What are your thoughts?
Good question. What do you do?
Now, I'll share. I had a friend back in the day that she hit on every man, just to see if she can get him, right?
Mm.
Because she was like, "Oh, I know I'm beautiful. I can do this. I can do that. So I'm going to see what I can do." Well, eventually, I'm like, "Yeah, let me stay away from her because when I get somebody, I can see the direction she gonna go in because I've seen her do it to two other friends,
Mm.
right?"
Mm.
So I'm paying attention. I'm being observant in that situation. Like, hmm, you move real funny, like.
Interesting.
So I have to pay attention and protect myself
Yeah.
because I'm setting myself up to continue to stay connected to somebody who I know does that.
Right. Hmm. Hmm.
Integrity, character, um, can be something that people say it's not connected. We can say that, right? We can say, "Oh, this has nothing to do with integrity or character," or, but I'll tell you this. I am grateful that I can be honest with my husband and have honest conversations with him. And
Mhm.
I don't have to lie and I don't have to sneak and I
Right.
don't have to, I don't have to do any of those things. I can relay how I feel honestly to him.
Mhm.
He can relay how he feels honestly to me.
Mhm.
Because one of the big reasons why people get into these situations is because they just are dishonest.
Mhm.
But if you tell the truth, if your partner is willing to hear what you have to say, and I'm not talking about cheating, I'm
Mhm.
just talking about period. When you have
Right.
trust in a relationship,
Right.
it's the person is less likely to be like, well, let me go cheat because I can't even talk to them. I can't
Right.
even have a conversation with them. They're not going to understand where I'm coming from.
Mhm.
But when you can go to your partner and you can have an honest conversation about anything,
Mhm.
it makes it less likely that they're going to go and cheat on you and do stuff because they know, oh, I can go talk to my partner.
Mhm.
Like, we cool. We can sit down. We can holler at each other about this, how I feel about this, this, how I feel about that. It doesn't have to be secrets.
Mhm.
So I'm not saying that that's a bullet. I mean, it's a strong proof way, but it
Right.
is
It's an option.
an
It's
option.
another option. It's another option and another way of being in your relationship.
Mhm.
You know, I was sharing with Kia earlier, like what my points of view about relationships, but I said, but take into consideration that I haven't had a situation where, like in this healthy state that I'm in right now, I haven't been in a serious relationship where because I can say, oh, I would, this is how I would respond, but I honestly don't know how I would respond,
Mhm.
because there hasn't been anybody in my life since. Hmm.
We don't have to name the year.
Right. Since ever. Since
We
ever.
don't have to name the year.
Since ever. I don't think since ever. Because I've always been in unhealthy relationships. By the time I realized like this is unhealthy, I was like, okay, I'm working on me being healthier. And so I've been in a healthier, journey in relationships and being honest with learning to be more honest with myself, learning to be more open with others in the relationship, or in whoever I'm dealing with, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been in a serious committed relationship
which
where.
makes you a great which makes you a great partner for a great partner because you've done this work.
Mm,
You didn't like try to DIY it either. You
mm.
wasn't like, okay, let me I'm gonna stick some glue on this part of me and I'm gonna stick some tape over
Right,
here. Like,
right.
because a lot of people will do that. They'll try to
Yeah.
DIY themselves. You got to put in the work.
Mhm.
You got to really put in the work. And I also even think you can put in the work. Let's say you did find a partner,
Mhm.
when you were in the journey 6 months of
Mhm.
healing and doing the work.
Mhm.
You can heal alongside the right partner.
Mm, mhm.
But I think what you've been able to do on your own, it's like not everybody may be able to, you know, understand that the work that you've put in
Mhm.
and come, with that same level of work.
Mhm.
Because I've seen you put in a lot of work. I've seen you put
Mhm.
in a lot of work.
Thank you, cousin.
So yeah, so I really feel like, when you put that work in, you just like, man, like this took some heavy lifting.
Right. And it's interesting because a lot of men out there, well, can I say men or just a lot of people? Did I say specifically men? A lot of people have not are scared to do that work, are scared to
Mhm.
see that to look in that mirror to realize like, let me take some accountability for my part in unhealthy relationships, right? And creating an unhealthy dynamic in other relationships. And the most people don't want to listen to nobody else either. They don't want to hear anything. They just like, I got it. I know better.
Mhm.
I know, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, all right.
And that
And
could
I'm
be
not
a
debating with
dangerous
nobody
place.
about it.
That could be a dangerous place to be in, and I just told B this
Mm-hmm.
yesterday. He left for his trip this morning and we were talking and I said, I'm gonna tell you something. I said, please listen to this. You don't know everything and it's okay not to know everything.
Right.
As I'm telling you something, when you try to talk over me and say, I know, I got, you ain't got shit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you think you know. And
Mm-hmm.
guess what I do when somebody's telling me something that I don't know? Even if you telling me something that I know, I'll still sit in silence.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still listen to you. I'll
Mm-hmm.
still hear what you have to say There's a lot of things I don't know. And I'm very open to learning more and understanding more. And that is, I think, one of my strongest suits is my ego don't need to be in control of shit. My ego don't need to be, I know everything. No, sometimes it's okay to sit back, listen, reflect on what somebody is saying, and learn from that. And the reason why we repeat behavior and we find ourselves doing the same thing, which I did. Again, not judging anybody. I did the same shit for many, many years. I cheated, I got cheated on. I cheated, I got cheated on. Look, but who want to keep doing that? So you have to break that cycle. So I'm not here to judge, and don't sit your ass on here and judge me. I'm just saying we go through these things, but at some point you have to learn, you have to take a step back and you have to say, okay, what have I learned from these situations?
Right.
How can I become a better person? It's not about, me trying to show up as knowing everything, because I don't. Healing requires silence sometimes. Healing requires leaning more into yourself and reflecting on your own behavior.
Right.
But we live in a society where we're always turning the mirror to other people and then talking about them and judging them. And we worried about their lives when your shit messed up in your own house. Turn the mirror back around, look at yourself, do some reflection, and then do the work.
Right.
Because if I was a cheater, you was a cheater, other people was cheaters, and they stopped because they learned a valuable lesson, anybody can do that.
Right.
And at some point, and this is going to be my final thought. I was watching a podcast a few months ago, and there was some men on there. And one of the men was an older gentleman, 60 some years old. He got 77 health conditions. And he's like, yeah, I'm ready to settle down now.
You said 77 health conditions.
Sir, you're about to die. And you just got the lesson. And you can do that. That's your choice. That's an option for you. It's an option. But I didn't want to be 78 with 77 health issues and then say, oh, let me go ahead and get it together. Because cheating, my best friend and brother he says this all the time, and we've been friends 25 years. He would say this to me all the time. When we first became friends, his friends would say, oh man, you ain't gonna hit that. You ain't gonna hit that. He says, you can't have all the pee. You can't have all of it. And you shouldn't even want all of it.
Right.
Do you know what you're missing out on by trying to build authentic relationships? Yeah, my Keisha, 77. 77 of them.
Health issues.
77.
He had 77 health issues. I was like, geez. But there's a thing though about men getting sick, and they because they wanted somebody to take care of them, and then they die on the people. That's crazy too.
Yeah.
They got to realize they
ain't gonna name no names, but a former NFL player.
What'd he do? He did that?
I ain't naming no names.
I mean, no, we're not gonna name the name, but that's what they did. Wow.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. You can live your life however you want to live your life. I cannot be more clear about that. If you are a cheater, or if you live monogamous, or whatever it is you do, it doesn't reflect on my life. What this conversation,
don't bring me in that shit.
Yeah, the conversation is when you involve other people in it,
right? And
it creates drama for them. It creates trauma for them. Yeah. It creates confusion for them, because they're like, I don't really want to get involved in this. I really don't want to know your business, because now that I know your business, now I know y'all business. And that puts me in a bad predicament. So, if you want to be a cheater, that's your choice. Just understand how it affects people and what can come from that. And I told y'all, I watch all these ID channels and the Law and Orders and the crime. People flip out over this stuff.
Yep, for real.
Bree said that's a thing too. There are women who want to be the one that changes the player. Not
Mm,
me. Yuck.
I was that.
Yeah.
I was that. And it wasn't even sometimes about changing the player. It was about, I wanted to be chosen.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be the one that they'd be like, you the one.
Yeah. And that's an ego thing.
Right.
Like, that's an ego thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did that a couple of times. It's an ego thing. It's like, I know I'm a baddie. I can do this. He talking about he don't do this, but he'll do it with me.
Watch.
And you playing the whole game.
Right.
That will not pay off for you in the end. That is not a jackpot.
Nope. No, and you don't even want it.
That is not a jackpot, and you don't want that.
You don't want it.
Leave that alone. Leave that alone.
Leave that alone.
Okay, y'all. So we're gonna close this thing out. You guys have any questions? Any comments?
That was too soon. I don't think we did it right. I think we came on at 5:30.
No, we didn't. We came on at 7 and 5. Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, your time 7. 7:30. I think we came on at 7:30.
You trying to go longer? You must ain't got no client after this.
No, they pick them off. I was like, yeah, I got some time.
I said she must ain't got no client.
Which is, I know I'm all celebrating. I'm like,
you always got a client after this. I'm like,
I know. I'm like, I got a break. I can breathe a little bit. Just a little bit.
But do you guys have any comments? Do you have any questions? Do you have anything that you want to add to this conversation? How was the conversation? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it?
It wasn't a lot of men that said anything.
Yeah, a lot of men didn't say much. No men said anything except for Marcus.
Marcus did. Marcus said.
That's why I said no men except for Marcus.
It's normalized.
And I think that's just because he got to. He the host. He the other host.
He like come on. No.
He like, if I don't say nothing, my wife gonna say something.
Hilarious, right?
Okay.
She said yes.
Bree said 1 sec. Okay.
She's like,
she typing, boy. Bree Bree like, because I gotta say, cheating ass. Don't be putting me in your stuff. Come on with it, Bree. Come on with it. Tell us. Nobody else has anything to say? Interesting. We ain't judging y'all. We just being funny. We being funny. It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really interesting conversation because I don't think in the past I even thought this was a moral thing. You know, I don't think it was a moral thing at all for me. Yeah. I just did it because, again, I was around a bunch of men and that's what they were doing. And I kind of adapted to that. Thanks, Angie. Angie said another good one. Deep. Yeah, so that was good. And it's funny. It's funny. Remember earlier we was going back and forth on the topic tonight. So that's why this is so interesting.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know if we were going to talk about this or something else.
Right.
I'm glad we chose this particular topic.
Because my cheating was like, Bree did it.
Okay.
I said Bree did it. Let's read Bree. You gonna read it?
No, you go ahead.
With the situation earlier, I felt responsible for ruining 2 friendships and 2 relationships because I was the one who held the torch. Yeah, it would have been easier to hold that secret and pretend, but I know. Sin.
With that situation earlier, I felt responsible for running 2 friendships.
I know.
And let's touch on the responsible.
Yeah. That was their choice. I had to accept that as a part of me. I had to accept that as a part of me. I had to accept that as a part of me. And if I had the chance, I would do it again in the exact same way.
So that sounds like a very moral, integral decision that she made, right?
Right.
It's like morally and to stay in integrity, that's how she needed to move.
She said, I did it, but it was who I am, and
Mm.
had the tiles been reversed, I expect my friends to do the same.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This was a moral, integral
Had the roles.
decision that she made.
I was like, tiles, roles, had the roles reversed.
Hmm.
I was like, tiles, is that a new? I thought it was a new saying. I was like, is that a new saying? Okay. She typed it. She was like,
Yeah, I mean that lets us know exactly what I thought it was. It
Mhm,
for you, that's your standard,
mhm,
right? Your standard is, hey, morally and based on the integrity that I have, no. And I expect the same level of integrity and moral compass from my friends.
mhm,
It's a, it's kind of like how I am with loyalty. It's I have an expectation. I'm going to be loyal to you, and
mhm,
I expect loyalty back.
mhm.
And so, but that's my meter.
Mm.
Everybody has different meters of expectation. So it's
Right.
like, and even with that expectation, my detachment is there now because I understand humans are disappointing.
Mm,
So I have the expectation for you to be loyal, but I also understand that you're human and
mm,
you might disappoint me. It's very likely. I've been disappointed a bunch of times by humans,
mm,
but that's the standard for me. And
mhm.
once that alignment shifts, so do I. So do I.
I
So
only have
we,
look. I only have expectations with the three that love me, that they'll still love me. Everybody else, I don't have no expectations for nobody else. I ain't
mhm.
got it for them. You just come as you are, and then we'll see what
But
happens.
those are the people I'm talking about.
Right,
I don't
right.
I don't care about a
These people,
stranger.
right. These
I don't
people,
care
yeah.
about an acquaintance.
Mm-hmm.
I care about those that I once you in a certain category, there is an expectation for
Mm-hmm.
loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And if that is something that you can't be accommodating on, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
don't resent you. That's okay.
Your
Not
role will just
everybody.
change.
Listen, some people want to be CEOs and still apply for the position. That don't mean you're gonna get it.
Right, that part.
So it's understood. Like you
Mhm.
may want to be a CEO, but yeah, you just not qualified.
At all,
Yeah.
and it's okay.
So that's the
It's
way it works.
okay.
And you yawning. So we're gonna close this
I
thing
know.
out.
Right? See, I knew. See, I drank this little thing, and it didn't. See,
Yeah.
ADHD. When people got because when you got
Mhm.
ADHD, coffee don't help nothing. Caffeine actually calms you down.
So I do want to read this because I wrote it. So a lot of people think betrayal begins in the bedroom, but sometimes betrayal begins with the first person that's willing to help someone lie. And so remember what I said, the cheating didn't even hurt me like that.
Hmm.
It was the people that were a part of the lie that hurt me the
Yeah.
most. Because one thing I know is, okay, you cheated, and all right, I'm gonna move on.
Mm-hmm.
But my friends, I hold to a different
Wow.
standard,
Involved
you know. And it's like, oh, dang, the whole crew knew. Like
in
this was a whole y'all was probably sitting up plotting and talking about it. Yeah, Kia got cheated on, and this happened to her, and this y'all knew the whole time and didn't say
Mm,
anything, you know. And
wow.
so this conversation was so good. It allowed me to even reflect as we had the conversation,
Mhm.
which doesn't happen all the time. So
Right.
I enjoy a conversation where you guys kind of get to see me in real time processing
Right.
information. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for being um for participating. Um we hope to have more deep conversations like this. If you guys will share some topics that you would like to talk about, if you want to come on the show and discuss something, shoot us an inbox, let us know, or comment. Let us know that you want to come on the show. Let us know what topics you're thinking of. No topic is really off limits. So let's do that. And let's close us out, cousin.
Yay. Deep breaths in. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you guys for showing up. When you show up to gain a new understanding, you don't just show up for us, but you show up for yourself. So thank yourselves for showing up for you. Um, and we're grateful for you. And may all of life come to us with ease and joy and glory. How does it get any better than that? And what else is possible? Thank you guys.
Love you guys. Peace.
Yay.